Hi, Charlie here. Nature never ceases to surprise us. Just when you think you know something about animals, they prove you wrong. In these mysterious cases, even scientists were baffled. From gigantic, unidentified creatures washing up on beaches, to birds raining down from the sky, and even animals changing their natural color. Globsters. Nope, you didn't hear that wrong. I said globsters, not lobsters. Lobsters can be scary with those pinching claws they have, but they have nothing on this very mysterious animal. Globsters are gigantic hairy sea monsters that wash up on beaches. No, this is not something from a movie, this actually happens in real life. Locals who stumble across these are often confused and scared, and you can see why. The most mysterious thing is, scientists don't know what they are. What we do know is they're unidentified organic masses. This means they are living things, but they have not been identified as any kind of animal just yet. The first globster was seen in 1808, and since then there have only been 8 other recorded globster sightings. They can sometimes be over 20 feet long, and some believe they could be a new species of animal we have not yet identified. However, others believe they are carcasses of other animals, such as sharks and whales. Its long fuzzy hair could actually be muscle fibers decomposing. But other researchers disagree that these are carcasses. They have no heads, no eyes, and no bones. So right now we really don't know what these are. It would be great to research these more, but unfortunately they're very rare. Raining birds. In 2011, it was New Year's Eve in Arkansas, USA. People were having a great day until suddenly the weather changed. It began raining, but not with rain. Instead, it began to rain ravens. That's right, dead raven birds were falling from the sky. Over 5,000 of these black birds fell from the sky. The phenomena remains unexplained to this day. No one is sure how 5,000 birds flying in the sky can suddenly pass away. Scientists found that they passed away from internal trauma, but there were no signs of damage on their outer bodies. There was also no sign that these birds were sick in any way. This led to many theories such as a big government test, and some even said these birds may have been intercepted by alien life. But of course, there's no proof for any of that and it's merely speculation. Narcisse snake dens. Are you afraid of snakes? Well then don't go to Narcisse in Manitoba, Canada. Every spring and autumn a gigantic congregation of snakes forms here. Thousands from around the world travel here to view these massive snake dens. Thousands of snakes can be seen here crawling on top of one another. These snake dens can sometimes be as wide as 20 feet across. The good thing is you won't stumble onto these by accident. You can hear them from far away. All of the rustling between leaves and branches is very loud, and of course all of the hissing is very loud as well. If you do pay a visit, then be sure to double check your luggage before you make it back home. Otherwise you might recreate snakes on a plane in real life. Headless animals. It's no secret that humans cannot live without heads. But this is not the case for all animals. Believe it or not, some animals can do just fine without heads. And I don't just mean small animals like insects. For example, one day a man was doing some yard work in his backyard in Texas, USA. That was when he noticed a 1-meter long rattlesnake. Of course, these are very dangerous and the guy had a shovel in hand. So he quickly took his shovel and removed the rattlesnake's head. But when he bent down to pick up the head, it bit him. That's right, snakes can live for some time with no head, or no body depending on how you look at it. But how exactly does this happen? It's not because this snake is some kind of zombie. If humans lose their heads, then they would pass away instantly. But snakes get heat and energy from sunlight and warm surfaces. This means they don't get all of their energy from oxygen like us mammals do. But snakes aren't the only animals that can happily live without heads. In 1945, a farmer tried to cut off the head of a chicken. He was hoping to eat the chicken for dinner, but to his surprise, after cutting off the chicken's head, it continued to walk around. The farmer decided that this chicken was meant to live. He continued to feed and water it using an eyedropper, and the chicken only passed away when he lost the eyedropper. But how exactly did this happen? Well, scientists at the University of Utah examined the chicken. They found out that the farmer had barely missed the chicken's brainstem. It's pretty amazing that this chicken lived for 18 months with no head. It actually became pretty famous in the local area, and it was named Mike the Headless Chicken. Fish beaching. In 2012, people in Norway were enjoying New Year's Eve, but that was when thousands of dead fish washed up on a beach. There were so many fish that they weighed an estimated 20 tons. But here's where things get crazy. Before anyone could even count the fish, let alone clean them up, the fish disappeared. No one's sure how these fish all washed up and then disappeared within a few hours. The fish clearly weren't alive as they were no longer in water. So how on earth did they simply vanish? It makes no sense. And this mysteriously also happened on New Year's Eve, just like the raining birds in Arkansas. There must be something about the year changing that makes animals go seriously strange. If you're enjoying this video, then why not subscribe and press the bell too? It really does help me out. Crab migration. Located in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Australia is an island named Christmas Island. It's an amazing and very beautiful place. But between October and December every year, something amazing happens on this island. All of the red crabs on the island start a massive migration to the other side of the island. All of the red crabs on the island leave the inland and go to the coast. They dip into the ocean to replenish their body salts. Massive areas of the beaches are turned totally red, making it impossible to walk anywhere without stepping on thousands of tiny crabs. It is inconvenient for locals, but it sure is an amazing sight to see. Glowing sea. The islands of the Maldives are beautiful, but during the nighttime they turn from beautiful to mysteriously beautiful. All of the waves appear to glow blue. It looks like someone's put glow sticks in the water. But this is a totally natural phenomena caused by animals. A tiny plankton named Dioflagenates causes this. The plankton produces a blue glow when it senses movement. Orange alligators. Everyone knows alligators are green, but it seems orange is the new green. Recently, there have been many mysterious sightings of orange alligators. These have been seen all over the US, but mainly in South Carolina. Many believed these were a new species of alligators, but other people give a different explanation. During the winter, alligators seek a place to hibernate. It's believed these alligators settled into a drain pipe. This leaves them coated in a layer of orange rust. So these are basically rusty alligators. Mayfly swarms. On their own, mayflies are tiny, but when in a swarm, they're so huge they can be spotted by satellites in space. In these swarms, there are millions of tiny mayflies. Some can even span 80 miles wide. When they finally pass away, they can coat entire areas of cities in their remains. Just imagine the sound of walking through this. I think it would be kind of oddly satisfying. Mayfly swarms aren't always a bad thing. They can be a sign that nearby bodies of water are healthy and clean. But of course you don't want to get caught up in one of these gigantic swarms. Otherwise you might just end up like the villain in Indiana Jones. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment down below which was the most amazing animal phenomena in this video. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thank you for watching. There are some more videos you will love on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.